Hi everyone, it's Mandy. Thanks so much for joining me for another process video. Today I'm working on a project for the Vicki Boutin design team, and I'm going to be creating another page for my junk journal. So if you watched my Vicki Boutin process video from last week, you would have already seen this part of my process, but I wanted to include it just to show you how I came up with this background. So all I did was I had some excess paint left on my mat when I was working on the layout that's up there in the top left-hand corner of the screen. And I didn't want to waste that paint, so I grabbed a page out of my junk journal and then I just simply pressed it onto my mat to pick up that paint. I didn't prep this page with gesso or anything. It was very unplanned and I love how it turned out. I love the mix of the yellow and the blues there, and I think sometimes unplanned pages like this turn out the best. So once I've done that, all I'm doing now is just picking up a little bit more of that paint with a paintbrush and just filling in the places where it was still white, where it hadn't really picked up as much paint. And I love how that turned out. So now what I'm going to do is I just want to add a little bit more texture and depth to that background. And so I've pulled out one of the newer stencils from Vicki Boutin. This was one that she released earlier this year at Creativation, and I haven't actually used this one yet. I tend to use the circle one a lot. I reach for that one a lot, and I haven't used this one yet. So I wanted to give it a go, and I really love how this turned out. So I'm just using my stencil brush and a art crayon. It's sort of in between a yellow and an orange, I would say. I wanted it to be a little bit darker than that yellow on the background. And so that was why I chose that colour. And so I just scribbled it onto some plastic packaging and picked it up with the stencil brush just by rubbing that over the top of the plastic packaging, and then applied it through the stencil using the stencil brush. And I love how that turned out. It just gives that background just a little bit more interest and texture. And then that's all I'm going to do on the background. So now I'm ready to bring in my photo and start embellishing the page. So the photo that I'm documenting is one of my youngest daughter and I taken at the beach last summer. And it's just a selfie, and I wanted to include it in my junk journal because I'm documenting things that we did with our kids last summer in this junk journal. And so I thought at first that I was going to embellish the page with those pink flowers, but it just wasn't working for me. I had pulled out the pink ones because in the photo my daughter is wearing a pink swimsuit, but I just wasn't really liking how it was looking with the blue and the yellow on the background. And so then I remembered that I had these stamped flowers put aside. When I had created another layout, I had created like a mixed media background, and then I had cut a title out of it using my Cameo. And what I did with the leftover bit after I'd cut the title out of it was I stamped, using a Vicki Boutin stamp set, I had stamped these flowers onto the background and then die cut them out using my Cuttlebug. And so I had them sitting there, and they've been sitting there for a little while, and I think I'd forgotten about them. But then I pulled them out and they worked perfectly on this page. I love the blues and greens with that background. I think it just really tones in a lot better, and it just feels more beachy, I think, with those colours. So I'm really liking how that's looking, and I'm just sort of scattering them around the page. So I'm sort of going for a bit of a central design in terms of my title and journaling and photo on this page. So they're all going to be positioned down the middle of the page. And then I'm going to sort of have the flowers then scattered around the page. So I'm starting to get things stuck down now. I'm liking how this is looking. You can see that I've added my title at the top there, and that's just using one of the foam thickers from the All the Good Things collection. And then I decided I wanted to add a little sticker at the bottom of the photo there. So I've framed the photo using a die cut. And so I just wanted something a little bit more down there just to draw your attention towards the photo. And so I chose that one that says, I think it says, "This is my happy place," which was perfect for this photo. And then to finish off that cluster around the photo, I'm going to pull out the paper clips from the All the Good Things collection, and I'm going to use that cute little bird, but I'm going to cut the paper clip part off and just use it as a die cut. But I really liked the colours of that bird, and I think it looks really cute just tucked in there where the flowers are. So once I get all of this stuck down, the last thing I'm going to do is add my journaling, and then that will be it. So thank you so much for joining me today. Please leave me any questions or comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll be back soon to share another video with you. So I'll see you then.